In the azure depths of the African coast, where the sun kissed the waves each morning, there lay a hidden cove known only to the bravest of fishermen. It was said that within its crystalline waters dwelled a creature of unparalleled beauty and treacherous allure, the mermaid known as Mirembe. Mirembe was no ordinary mermaid. With lustrous ebony locks cascading down her back like silken ribbons and eyes the color of the ocean depths, she possessed a bewitching charm that ensnared the hearts of men. But beneath her ethereal beauty lay a dark and insatiable hunger, a hunger for the souls of mortal men. For centuries, Mirembe had roamed the seas, luring unsuspecting sailors to their doom with promises of forbidden pleasures. With a siren's song upon her lips and a gaze that could ensnare even the most steadfast of souls, she led countless men to their watery graves. Yet despite her countless conquests, Mirembe remained unfulfilled. For no matter how many souls she claimed, none could quench the emptiness that gnawed at her heart. And so, she continued her ceaseless hunt, weaving her web of deceit and desire with each passing tide. In the tranquil waters of the cove, Mirembe lay in wait, her siren song echoing across the waves, drawing in unsuspecting prey like moths to a flame. And as the moon rose high above the horizon, casting its silver light upon the sea, a lone fisherman approached the cove, unaware of the peril that awaited him. The fisherman who approached the cove that fateful night was named Kwame. He was a man of humble means but possessed a heart of pure virtue. Unlike the many who had succumbed to Mirembe's charms before him, Kwame was guided by a steadfast devotion to his family and a deep reverence for the traditions of his ancestors. As Kwame cast his net into the glistening waters of the cove, he felt a strange sense of unease wash over him. Though he could not explain it, he sensed the presence of something otherworldly lurking beneath the surface, beckoning him with an alluring melody that seemed to dance upon the air. Mirembe watched from the depths as Kwame went about his work, her eyes gleaming with a hunger that belied her otherworldly beauty. With each graceful movement, she sought to ensnare him in her web of temptation, to lure him into her embrace and claim his soul as her own. But Kwame, sensing the danger that lurked beneath the surface, remained resolute. Through the mermaid's song tugged at his heartstrings like a marionette's strings, he fought against its seductive pull with all his strength, for he knew that to succumb to Mirembe's charms would mean forsaking all that he held dear, his family, his honor, and his very soul. As the night wore on and the moon reached its zenith, Mirembe grew ever more desperate in her pursuit of Kwame's affections. But try as she might, she could not break through the walls of his self-consciousness, could not penetrate the fortress of his virtue. Frustrated and enraged, Mirembe unleashed a tempest upon the cove, conjuring waves that crashed against the shore with the fury of a scorned goddess. But still, Kwame stood firm, his faith unwavering in the face of the mermaid's wrath. And as the first light of dawn began to break across the horizon, Mirembe knew that she had been bested, not by strength of arms or force of will, but by the power of a love that transcended even the darkest depths of the sea. As the storm raged on, Kwame clung to his fishing boat with all his might, his heart filled with a love that burned brighter than the fiercest flame. For in that moment of peril, he realized that it was not only his own life that hung in the balance, but the lives of those he held most dear, his beloved wife, his children, and all those who depended on him for their livelihood. With each wave that crashed against the hull of his boat, Kwame whispered a silent prayer to the ancestors, calling upon their wisdom and strength to guide him through the tempest. And though the winds howled and the sea churned with fury, he never once wavered in his faith, knowing that love would be his shield and salvation. As Mirembe gazed upon Kwame's unwavering devotion, a seed of doubt began to take root in her heart. For in him, she saw not only the strength of a man, but the purity of a soul untouched by the darkness that had consumed so many others before him. And though she had sought to claim him as her own, she now realized that his love was not hers to possess, but to cherish and protect. With a heavy heart, Mirembe emerged from the depths of the sea, her ethereal form bathed in the light of the rising sun. And as she approached Kwame's boat, she spoke in a voice as soft as a whisper. confessing the truth of her nature and the sorrow that weighed upon her soul. In that moment of revelation, Kwame saw not a fearsome creature of the deep, but a being of grace and beauty burdened by the weight of her own desires. And though he knew that their paths could never truly intertwine, he offered her the one thing she had longed for most: forgiveness. With tears streaming down her face, Mirembe returned to the sea, her heart lighter than it had been in centuries. And as she vanished beneath the waves, a sense of peace washed over the cove, the storm abating as swiftly as it had begun. And though the memory of Mirembe would linger in Kwame's heart for years to come, he knew that their encounter had been more than mere chance. It had been a testament to the power of love to conquer even the darkest of temptations, and the enduring legacy of a bond that transcended the boundaries of land and sea.